Josephine Mikhai here. Just a quick bio on me. I started with PayrollCentric in 2006. As you know, my husband, Baha Mikhai, is the one who founded PayrollCentric back in 2005. I wasn't on board right away. I actually had my own job and doing my own thing. Then in 2013, we founded Incentric Insurance, and we don't really highlight that a lot, but what we did is because workers' comp, a lot of insurances are driven by payroll. It was a natural transition for us to add that so that we had more support services for our existing clients. Baha and I have been married for 26 years. Yes, that's a long time. I'm a boy mom. We have 3 sons, and they're not babies anymore. So I find myself working more and more because I have more time on my hands. It's kind of crazy. But I love it. I have one that's in graduate school. He's studying to be a physical therapist. I have another one that's at the University of Notre Dame. He's in junior over there. And then my youngest is a freshman in high school. And then I love serving my church and the youth there. So it's kind of fun. Just a little bit of info on me. And let's see. So like I was saying, we started PayrollCentric back in 2005. And then over the years, we kept adding more services so that we were a complete solution for business owners. So obviously we have the human resources applications, time and attendance products, accounting software, and workers' compensation. We work with all those kind of companies, and we have integrations for all that. Let's see. Always lots of, you guys are familiar with us. You don't need all this information, right? Anyway, with that in mind, we continue to grow into the workers' compensation and health insurance markets with the purpose of providing solutions to our existing clients through Incentric. So that's kind of where Incentric came from. Workers' compensation, this is what we're talking about primarily today. One of the biggest benefits of partnering with PayrollCentric for the workers' compensation is the ease of the audits, the ease of the reporting. Charles showed you how you have a lot of the reports that you need for audit right at your fingertips in Dash. And then also we have, it gives you the chance to have like a 0 down payment. So traditional workers' comp, you have to, estimate your payroll. You don't really know how much it's going to be. You're doing an estimate, and then you're making a down payment, and then you're making estimated payments, whether you're paying it once a year or you're paying it every month. And then you go through an audit at the end, and then you either underestimated or overestimated payroll. And then more often than not, people underestimate, and then all of a sudden they owe thousands of dollars within 30 days. And that's never fun. So we have access to the pay-as-you-go payment. We work with a lot of the top carriers in the industry. What that means is you don't have a down payment to pay 90% of the time. Some cases you do have a down payment, just really varies by industry. Construction industry, they want a down payment. So restaurant, they don't need a down payment. It really just is dependent on what industry you're in. And then they have automatic premium withdrawals. So what happens is you run payroll, we send a report over to our carriers, and I do work through a company called eComp because they give me access to a lot more markets than I would have as a small agency on my own. So they are amazing to work with. They're like my best partner. We're actually one of their platinum partners as well. We've been working with them since the get-go. And they allow us access to a lot of the big carriers. And then what happens is you run payroll, a report shoots over to eComp with your actual payroll information. They calculate premiums and they make the withdrawal like ACH or EFT or electronic fund transfer right after your payroll. So it's a couple of days after payroll. So at the end of the year, when it's time for the audit, it's much smoother because they've been getting actual payroll, not estimates, all year. And then to run the audit, all your files are already in Dash. You just click, click, click like Charles showed you, and you send off that information, whatever additional information they're asking for, and you're done. It makes the audit process so much easier. And it helps with cash flow, which as a small business or even a large business, cash flow is a big factor, right, in day-to-day operations. So no unexpected surprises at the end of the year. These are some of the large companies we work with: AmTrust, Berkshire Hathaway, which has like 4 companies under them. It's a Warren Buffett company, Liberty Mutual, Employers, Travelers, the Hartford Pie Insurance. Pie is pretty new and they've been pretty good in their pricing the last couple of years, and many, many more, actually. It really just depends on the industry. So we always, when we run a quote, we run it through at least 9 different carriers to make sure that we're finding the best quote for you. And then every year before your renewal, we actually remarket the policies to make sure, again, that you're still with the same, the best rate. Because sometimes, accidents happen, your XMOD changes, it goes up. The next year, your renewal comes in super high, very painful. Sometimes we can move it to somebody else who's going to come in more competitive. And sometimes you're kind of stuck for a year or two until it calms down. And then you have a good track record again, and then we can remarket. But it's one of the things that we do for our clients every year is that we make sure we're remarketing the policy so that if you do have the opportunity to save a little bit, that you do. So that's kind of like the benefit of working with us. And then other things to just keep in mind, we do also offer health insurance services. So I am licensed for property and casualty as well as health insurance, and in multiple states. And then other products that we can help with are general liability, EPLI, cyber. Cyber is very common nowadays because everybody's online, errors, omissions, directors and officers. And if you had to apply for some of those, like the directors and officers in EPLI, you know how hard they are to get in California. So we do have a couple of good companies that we work with that we're able to offer those services. So just, if you're looking for an easier audit process and a smoother workers' compensation experience, please give me a call. You can just reach out to me directly or ask anybody at PayrollCentric. They'll transfer you over to me, and then I'd be happy to help you. That's kind of it for me, guys.
Wow.
Do you have any questions?
That was really good, Josephine. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Josephine? We rarely get her, so take advantage of this moment. I didn't realize that we did directors and officers. I had somebody ask me that a while ago, so that's amazing.
Yeah, we do.
That's good. So okay. I think what's really wonderful about the fact that you've come to PayrollCentric is we do have solutions for everything, 99.9% of everything, actually. And it's really wonderful that we are here to help you in all aspects of your business. Josephine's an expert in the field, and we have 80% of our staff are certified in payroll. They had to either take a 1-year course or a 5-year course to get that certification. So you're working with human beings that have expertise. And I'm really waxing eloquent about the staff because I'm so proud of us. It took a lot of work and a lot of time to get them where they are today. And so when you're working with us, you're working with a team of experts. And I'm really proud to say that. So thank you, all of my team who have gone through that process in order to get that certification. It wasn't easy. So I appreciate them for that. And I'm really happy to brag on it. All right.
I see Charla has a question here.
Okay.
So, Charlotte, you're asking if it's best to look at the workers' comp before renewal. Yes, that's a very good question. So, up to 90 days before your renewal, we can start shopping it around because workers' comp is one of those that you really can't switch until it's time for renewal. So 90 days in advance. And then if you're on a traditional direct pay, you can't switch to pay as you go mid-year. They don't allow it. If you're with another company and you're on a pay as you go type system, they do let us broker of record those over, but they won't they won't take commissions away from the previous person. They'll just start when the policy renews. So those are ways to go about it. So happy to talk to anybody who wants to look into it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you found the information useful, and we are very, very pleased and thankful that you are part of our PayrollCentric family. Goodbye for now.